Okay. So today we are going to start with the concept of microservices. So we will try to understand in today's session what is exactly microservices, where we are using microservices, why we have to use microservices, what are the advantages of microservices, and before microservices, what kind of architecture we have. So what are the drawbacks between the like if you are taking monolithic application or microservices, the previous approach versus the current approach, what are the drawbacks available? So why people are worrying or why people are adapting microservices architecture in nowadays in every project, we will try to understand in today's session. Okay. So see here, first of all, if you taken microservices into two words, micro plus services. Micro means what? Small, right? Yeah, micro representing small. So, and services, you know that I can call it as even application also. Small applications. Okay. So microservices is the terminology representing what? Small applications. Okay. Small applications. Services representing applications. So what is the meaning of microservices or what is the meaning of small applications? What we are going to do inside the microservices with the small applications we will try to understand in today's session. Okay. Give me a second. Just a moment. So before understanding the microservices, we have to understand an architecture or a terminology called as monolithic. We already discussed a couple of times, or maybe one or two times I discussed what is microservices as part of the demo, how it looks like we already discussed in earlier cases. But anyway, we will see very clear details today. Please recollect what we discussed in the olden days. Yeah, sorry. So we have to understand first thing about the monolithic application, and then we will try to understand microservices also. So mono means what, guys? Single, right? So if you see the meaning of monolithic, I mean mono, we know that mono is representing single, one, right? So that means it's a simple. Okay, so here, that is what even they are also trying to say same thing. Monolithic is representing finally overall one single application or single thing. Okay, everything as a single object you are producing, or maybe everything you are preparing as a single instance. So that is what representing the monolithic. So here application is all about again our web applications, what we are creating based on the requirement, Flipkart, Amazon, Google, Gmail, PhonePe, okay, net banking, virtual pharmacy, whatever you can take, whatever we are learning is all about the applications, whatever we are creating. So what is the meaning of monolithic application? Here it is. So I'll write down a small definition. Monolithic application represents all the functional requirements, implementations as a single unit or application, as a single application. So that means the point here it is representing all the functional requirements. Okay, all functional requirement implementations we are making as a single application. So what is the meaning of making as a single application? What is the meaning of functional requirements? Here it is. Let's try to understand. For example, we know very well about the Flipkart account or Flipkart project, how it will work. So even if you take in use case as a Flipkart only, so what as part of the Flipkart, what are the business functionalities we have? Okay, when you are taking the Flipkart, so what are the business functionalities we know in the Flipkart is all about? I will tell you. So when you open the Flipkart or when you are accessing the Flipkart application, First thing is we have to create user account or not, right? Fine. After that, what we will do? We will do the login. After that, what exactly we will do with the Flipkart applications? We will search for the products. We will explore the products. We will identify the products. We will search for the products. We will identify the products. We will explore the products. We will do the analysis on the products. What we want. What is the price? Which brand is what? At what time they released into the market? What are the reviews? So these are all things we are making on the Flipkart account or not, right? So okay, then maybe you finalized a product. After doing 2-3 days analysis or 1 week analysis, you finalized a product. Then what you will do next? You will go with the making an order, right? So you're just exploring products for 3 to 4 days. And after that, what you will do? You will click on the cart. You will add it to the cart and you will click on proceed with the payment. Now, then what you will do? You will do the payment. Once you are doing the payment, the order will be created or not? And once order will be created and you are receiving order notifications or not, right? Your order is created, your order is ready to dispatch, your order is ready to deliver today. Like that, you are getting the notifications or not, right? On your email or in your registered email or mobile number, whatever it is. Similarly, once order is done, so now the things, delivery boy will come to your home and delivery boy will deliver that product to your home. To your whatever the mentioned order, it will be delivered to there. So after that, for example, assume that product is not good. What we will do? We will apply the return, right? We will apply the return. So then once again, delivery boy will come and he will pick up your product and probably they will replace that product or maybe they will give you some refund amount or whatever it is. Okay. So still sometimes your issue is not resolved. Or to whom you are connecting? Customer care of the Flipkart application, right? So you want a query, you have a query, your issue is not resolved or your refund is not credited within 1 week. Okay, so then you will contact customer care. So how many? So business functionalities involved here, functional things involved here. See here, users. Users is nothing but customers like us, like you and me, whoever is using the Flipkart application. We are all comes under the users. So now, as part of the user point of view, as a customer point of view, what is the first thing you will do in the Flipkart application? If you want to make every operation on the Flipkart account or Flipkart application, what is the first thing you have to do? Registration. Okay, good. After that, so his basic activities, we know that login and probably we will add our addresses. After that, we will give our email IDs, mobile numbers or whatever it is. That means we can give all our profile details. What is our first name, last name or any extra details, gender, all these details we can give here it is. So like that, you will have everything here. Okay, fine. Now, when it comes to the users, what is the next? Generally, think as a customer point of view. Don't think as a technical development point of view. Once we are opening the Flipkart browser or account, once we did the login, or okay, maybe assume the next activity is login. We did the login also, everything is done. Then next what we will do, we will start exploring the products. So who will add those products? Those are all automatically coming into the Flipkart. Someone are adding. Someone is adding from somewhere else, right? They will also have a user interface or not. For example, tomorrow you invented a product. You want to sell that product on the Flipkart. What you will do then? By default, you will get access to upload your product. You are the only customer. Then you have to approach to the Flipkart customer care or Flipkart team. You have to tell them, they will verify your product and they will give you a vendor account. They will give you one more credentials to you as a vendor. So what that means, now by using that vendor portal, you can upload now your product details, images, description, price, everything. You can start uploading into the Flipkart, right? So that means now in this case, when it comes to products, what are the operations we can expect? 100% adding products. Otherwise, how can you watch? How can we explore the products? Adding products, remaining. Similarly, when adding is there, obviously updating will be there, deleting will be there, right? So add, delete, update, and exploring means view, select operation, right? So view, we can view the products. Okay, so here update means Updating the product details. For example, today price is 100 rupees. Tomorrow you want to give 50% off. Then you will go there and you will apply a percentage also. Then it will display as 100 rupees product we are providing for only 50 rupees, 50% off. Something like that. You can dynamically change the values like that. So these are all things comes under the related to which one? Products point of view. Okay. Now after that, we will do what? Once you are exploring the products, we will make a order. So I assume something like, yeah. So we are trying to place an order. We are trying to place an order with the products. So when we are involving the order, internally we will have always a payment also or not, payment module. So as part of the order, what you will do? You will have a cart, right? Add to cart. So then you will start making the payment. Okay, you will start making the payment. So some orders will be orders created. So orders created, and every time orders will be created, sometimes order creation will fail. Why? The reason is sometimes we may not have enough amount in our account. So you don't have that amount in your account. Try to book iPhone. Is it going to create? Enter, then what you will get? Your order creation is failed because insufficient amount or insufficient funds. Something like that we are going to get or not, right? So that means orders will be created or orders creation may fail. So all these things functionalities. Now with respect to payment, yes, it's all about payment gateway, integration of payment gateway. Okay, and it's all about payment statuses. History of payments. We have to deal with the history of payments or not? Can we maintain in Flipkart? When you observe, you will see last year which product at what price you brought. You will see it or not? Last year the product what price you brought, maybe 100 rupees product you bought for 60 rupees. The same thing can I see today or not? Assume today that okay like that. So that is what the history of payments and everything. Payment status. Okay, etc. etc. I'm not writing everything. Simply I'm writing delivery, things coming into the picture, returns, customer care. Okay, so these are all comes under the business functionalities or not? As a Flipkart point of view, as a Flipkart application point of view, these are all comes under the business functionalities or not? Right? They are doing business as part of their business, these are all functionalities or not? Right? So this is what. Now assume before creating the Flipkart application, we are just taking use case as a Flipkart guys. Now, when it comes to the coding level, when it comes to the creating a web application, this is all about the requirement. This is all about the requirements. Okay. Now, when it comes to the coding, if you created only one web application, assume you created a Spring Boot web application or Spring Web application, whatever it is, Spring Web application. Now you started providing coding, I can say like in a simple terminology, coding or implementation. Generally, this is the terminology we can use. Coding or implementation of business requirements, or I can simply write down requirements. See, Flipkart team is saying like these are all modules we are trying to involve. Okay, users has to register, user has to log in, user has to create his addresses, delete addresses, everything. And then user can explore the products, and vendors will have a vendors will have a privilege or a role called as adding the products. People can make the orders. Dynamically, we will make sure based on the payment status, we will create order. If payment status is failed, then we will order status will also fail. Order cancellation. Okay, when order is cancelled, then we will refund the amount. So these are all functionalities his business team is explaining to the technical team or our developer team. Okay, then you started providing coding to all these things, and you created how many web applications? Only one web application, and you started writing code for this entire all functionalities. Okay, you started writing code for all these functionalities. So now whenever it comes to the deployment, here, how many web applications we created? everything, all the functionalities. Assume you taken 2 years of time or one year. Okay, let's take 2 years. 2 years of time to implement this requirement, and finally you just implemented everything under one web application. So here, generally people will call it as users related functionalities. Now guess, as a REST services point of view, if you are thinking, what we will write down in users related point of view, adding the users, user registration, user login, okay, reset password, update profile, delete account, expire. Okay, these are all things we will write down or not as part of the users point of view. Similarly, when it comes to products, we will write down products controller, and we will write down add product, delete product, update product, okay, load products based on the query parameters, filters, right, price range, like that. You will write down a lot of services with respect to products. Similarly, we will write down orders also, right? So here, everything you written under one project. So and at one point of time, when this will be called as monolithic application. Okay, so this will be called as monolithic application. So here you are bundling all the requirements implementation into one project, and you created only single WAR file or whatever it is. I mean, web application, single file means single WAR file. So you provided coding or logic for all the business requirements, and you provided everything under one single web application, So here, this will be called as monolithic application. Mono is representing single application. So that means all the functionalities together, you written in how many applications? Only one application, that is called as monolithic application. So this is the one very popular approach before microservices. I can say like 10 years back or 15 years back. Before 10 to 15 years back, okay, we have only time, most of the times the approach is monolithic application. Only people used to implement their projects always by following an architecture called as monolithic. Monolithic means simply when a customer reaches to the company, they will take all his requirements, they will start writing the code, and everything they written inside the one project. Only one project we are going to do that. So that is all comes under the web application. So at that time, so these users or products, okay, something like orders related logic, payment related logic, and similarly delivery, returns, everything. Okay, I'll write on it. So these are all things will be called as at one point of time as part of the monolithic application modules. What it is? Modules, project modules. What it is? Modules. As part of the monolithic application, a single functionality related to user's point of view. Those, okay, when it comes to the nature of the functionality, if it is different, so user module, product module, order module, payment module, like that. Okay, people used to create inside a single project itself. They used to create modules, and they used to write, or they used to create a single WAR file, and they will deploy that WAR file into any of the application server or web server like Tomcat, WebLogic, WebSphere, JBoss. So this is the approach of 15 years back or 20 years, I mean 10 to 15 years back. So this is all comes under the monolithic application. You are bundling everything. You are writing the code, everything under single web application. Okay, fine. This is all about the monolithic. Now, when it comes to the microservices, okay, so now it's, when it comes to the microservices, what are the things is being changed? Why? Okay, microservices got popular, we will try to discuss now. Now, if I take in the same requirement, assume the same Flipkart team reaches to you, and if they given all these requirements now. Now, in this case, what is going to happen with respect to microservices? So, what is the meaning of microservices? Micro is representing small, service is representing application. So, now microservices is saying, don't create a single application for entire all business functionalities or entire, okay, business functionalities are different functionalities wise when you are having different components. Don't create single web application. Segregate means divide our requirements or divide our application into small applications as a individual small applications. And then you have to make sure those are all small applications together connected internally and and everything should act as again a single web application. Everything should act again as it looks like a single application to the external person. Now, for example, you are using Flipkart. We are using every day. Do you know how many microservices running on the Flipkart? Or do you think Flipkart is running on the monolithic? We know architecture of the Flipkart? No, right? So, but it looks like a single web application or not for us. When you are using payments orders, as a developer also, we will always feel it as a single application. But definitely, Flipkart application will run on minimum 150 to 200 microservices. I'm damn sure about it. Flipkart will run minimum on 100 microservices. That means they are breaking application into small pieces. Small pieces means, okay, it's not like breaking. So they are just converting these requirements based on the functionality wise. They are making a individual small service, and these services should be connected internally again. These services should be connected internally again, and overall services again should represent as a single application, like however it looks like my monolithic application point of view. That is what the idea of microservices. But why this idea came? What are the advantages of this idea? Why we are making is, okay, these are all things as a small services as a n number of web applications instead of one application. Okay, what are the advantages? We will try to understand, and at the same time, there is a disadvantages also. That is also we will try to understand. Okay, so now in this case, when it comes to microservices, what it was trying to say here it is, when you are writing logic related to the users, that means anything user related logic, user registration, updating the profiles, updating my password, okay, or resetting my password, changing my mobile number, editing my previous address, deleting previous address, adding new address. Okay, like that. These are all things comes to the user related point of view or customer related point of view. Now, what microservices is saying here it is, make sure that, okay, now I will ask you one more point before going to here. So do you think anything logic, only coding point of view think is somehow related to the payment options, user registration and user login, user address, user profile? Okay, with respect to Java coding point of view thing. So whatever the logic we are going to write down for the registration, user operations are similar to the functionalities wise. Payment, no, right? Payment is all dealing with the money. Payment is a functionality all dealing with the amount, money. User is a component dealing with the customer's information. His first name, his last name, like that. Now similarly, when it comes to products and orders, is having same kind of functionality, same result, same kind of functionality? No, right? Products is a different. Order is a different. Products is all about adding the products, deleting the products, updating the product details. When products are existed, then only you can create the orders. Order is all about how much amount you paid for that order, at what time order is created, it is created, this order is created by, this order created with which vendor, at what location is it. So when you are placing an order, when you went to the order, you will see that this order is placed from the Delhi. It is starting from the Delhi to Hyderabad. Estimated time, it will take 4 days. So like that, they will display all the order related information. So now whatever the order history, you are seeing the tracking, order placed at April 31st or April 30th, Delhi, it is created at Delhi level with so and so ABC vendor. Now it will reach to Hyderabad May 5th. Like that, you will see the history, you will see the tracking or not, right? Estimated delivery, something like that. Now this estimated delivery, this vendor details created at Delhi, all this information is somehow related to the adding the products, deleting the products, updating the products. Is there any relationship with that logic? Any logic? No, right? So now you're understanding, we have to make sure a microservice application, now you will get a question, sir, how can I segregate all these requirements into, okay, a requirement into a small microservice when everything is Under single project, there is no confusion. Everything write a Java class. Okay, communicate in between one class to another class. Things are done. You will create a number of packages. You will write down as a Java classes, everything under the single project. But when I given this requirement, now your question is, okay, you know how to write down the web application, that is a different story. But how to identify these requirements as a how many n number of microservices I have to write down. So that's what when it comes to the microservices, what microservices is saying, write and create an application which should perform independently. Okay, which should perform independently. Okay, it should not dependent on the other modules like that. Oh, so that means now in a high level I can tell you. So here I'm creating a Spring Boot web application. Okay, Spring Boot. Okay, or whatever it is. Think as a Spring only. First thing. Okay, it's all about web application 1. So what it is? Users. So here I will add all the logic related to registration. Okay, all the controllers I will write down, service classes and everything I will write down related to the users. Similarly, I will create one more web application. I will create one more web application. I will create one more web application. So like that, I started creating n number of web applications. Okay, so etc. So even if you take in here itself, users, products, order, payment, delivery, returns, customer care, like that, right? So, but in reality, still, these are all things also, okay, divided into 6 to 7 microservices. Order itself will be again segregated into 5 to 6 microservices minimum. Even in my current project also, it's nothing but same, almost e-commerce website only, but only thing is pharmacy. Delivery of medicine. That's all the project. But common concept is same. Delivery, okay, history, order history, payment status, failed success, then deliver products to prescribe medicine to the home, like that. So, so many things will become. So don't worry too much about it. Now, this is what microservices is saying. Segregate your requirements and based on the individual requirement point of view, you have to create a small services. So now, in this case, assume we created 6 microservices like that, 6 web applications. And in this users level, okay, if you come here again, products, I can take like this. Okay, so just high level things I taken. Now microservices is saying we have to segregate these requirements, or we have to create, from the requirements, we have to create small web applications, and those web applications we are calling it as a microservices. Those web applications you are calling it as a microservices. But when it comes to the, I will ask you one question. Assume now you created a Spring Web application here with respect to monolithic, and you implemented everything as a REST services. Okay, and when you are trying to integrate backend with the front end, how many host names you will have, how many port numbers you will have in this scenario? Tell me. Only one host name, only one port number you will have, because assume you deployed into a Tomcat server. How many in how many places you are deploying? Assume you deployed in one Tomcat server, and that, okay, it is 8080 something like that. Understand the use case, please. Okay, fine. Now, by using this host name and port number, maybe assume the context path is Flipkart and / etc. Okay, you have all the REST services. Now, by using this, you can start integrating the front end or not, right? By using all the REST services, fine. Now, okay, somehow you understood. Now we are creating, based on the requirements, we are creating small web applications. So every web application is everything is a web application here. Now, how many web applications I have here? 6 web applications I have. So now tell me, with respect to front end, when you are using the Flipkart also, yes, I can see all my information if I am doing the login here. I can see my profile, and as well as I can explore all my products. I can see my order history, right? Once I'm doing the login, I can see my order history, what I made earlier. I can see what are the products being added to the cart, right? So like that, you are having so many functionalities, but everything you are seeing in the same user interface are okay, order microservice into another URL level, order details, payment details into another URL level. Like that, Flipkart is behaving here. No, right? As a customer point of view, as a front-end integration point of view thing. You okay? So here it's very easy. But here, how many port numbers you will get? For example, assume my computer. At my computer only, I have to install all these, or I have to deploy all these web applications in my Tomcat server. So what I have to do now? Sorry? Yeah. So 6 web applications I will deploy onto the my one single Tomcat server. What about the port numbers? So 6 port numbers you have to maintain, or assume you felt like every application you would like to deploy an individual Tomcat server. Tomcat server 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. Then how many port numbers you have to maintain? 6 port numbers. Assume even you followed like this: 8001, 8002, okay, etc. 8003, 8006, something like that I given. Okay, like this you have. Now you are asking to the front end, okay, integrate your front end with the back end. Now tell me, front end people will get a front end people, which port number they have to choose. They have to choose which port number. If they want to integrate with the order users, they want to use 8001. If it is payments, 8002. Like that, every microservice is having individual port numbers. But is it looks like a good solution? Front-end team is going to say, what nonsense you are doing? Why are you giving 10, 15 port numbers to me? Why I have to deal with all 15 port numbers? Then, how will you manage all these things? Okay, you understood. Okay, finally we are going to create the microservices. Now, as part of the microservices implementation, we are going to make sure everything coming under one port number. That is what the training we are going to learn. Now, I will make everything coming under one port number called as 8888. Even though tomorrow I have 100 microservices, hundreds of port numbers, okay, but still everything I will make sure with microservices architecture by using some techniques, or by using some concepts, we will bring everything under one port number, whatever it is, one port number. Now I will tell to the Flipkart team, front-end team, start integrating. Now how many port numbers they will have? Only one port number they will see. But whenever, okay, fine. Now they started integrating front-end with the 8888. Okay, front-end team. Now your request reaches to the back-end. Then it will reach to this port number. But this port number is connected to many port numbers. These port numbers are connected to different functionalities. Then how it will be? So internally, how microservices is identifying when a request is coming from the front end to back end, then the request should go to which microservice. Here you have 6 microservices. Then request should go to which microservice? How? Okay, so this communication is happening, or how? Okay, we are making all microservices together. Now tell me, if I given, okay, assume there is a chance front end started integrating with all these port numbers, but now front end people will feel like how many applications? Okay, front end people are feeling in the back end how many applications we are running? 6 applications, right? But we have to make sure everything as a single application. Now if I connected all the microservices, all port numbers to the one port number somehow, and I given it to the front end, now what front end people will do? Now really they know whether you implemented microservices or, they know technically means when we are sitting together, they know. Just think in a common man point of view. Now, when I given only one port number, do you know that? Is it a microservice application or is it a monolithic application? So how do you know that? You don't know, right? So because I given everything under one port number. Here also one port number as part of the monolithic. So here also somehow I connected everything to the one port number. So this is what you are going to learn as part of the training. So how to manage microservices, everything under one umbrella, that means under one port number, or how you are connecting all these things. That is point number 1. And point number 2, when it comes to monolithic, assume there is a requirement something like this. If it is monolithic, Okay, the requirement is user should get order history. So user should get order history. In this case, what you will do if it is monolithic application, only think in a backend developer point of view. Okay. Now, first thing is user should get order history. So which user? Logged in user or not? For example, I logged into my account called as Dilip. Now, when I clicked on the order history, I will get my order history or not? I will get it, right? Can I see your order history? No, right? I cannot see. Similarly, you cannot see my order history. You can see only your order history. So that means what is the input value? What is the input here? Mandatory input value? User ID or not? That unique user ID or not? Right, fine. Okay, fine. Now, when it comes to order history, that means what is the meaning of order history? What are the orders you placed earlier? What is your order number at what date? What is the price you paid for that amount? What are the products available under that one order? Right, in one order, we can add 10 to 15 products also or not? Right? Can we add or not? 10 to 15 products, 10 products can I order in one? I mean, can I add 10 products into one order? That's what, right? When you are ordering the Swiggy, you are ordering biryani one order. Okay, curd rice one more time. Like that, one product one more time. No, right? Biryani two. Okay, curd rice four. Like that. You are adding the starters under everything and one order or not. Even Flipkart also, you are adding something like pen or whatever it is. Okay, mobile, below that, mobile case, mobile cover. You will add everything under at a time or not. Right? So that is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so leave it. Now in this case, order history. So if it is monolithic application, generally what you are going to do as a developer point of view, tell me. So assume you have a class called as. So now in this case, with respect to user information, with respect to order information, the source code available under one project or different projects. Java code under one project. Assume this logic from the A class, this requirement I have. From the inside A class, I have to get order history of that user and assume that order history logic already written in the B class. If I am passing the user ID, assume like this I written get order history and here I will pass string user ID. Okay, based on this, I already written the logic. Assume I already written a logic like repository dot repo dot find by user ID. Okay, and I'll pass that user ID. Okay, that repository is order table or whatever it is, order table level, and then it will give what? List of orders from the table called as order history. Assume there is a table called as order underscore history. It will maintain only order history for every user point of view. Now, if I'm passing Dilip 123, so Dilip 123 will be passed from this order. Dilip 123, how many orders I made till today? All the list I'll get and I'll return back. Now, A would like to call this logic. So what you will do in A level to fulfill this requirement? Already logic is available inside the B class. Then what you will do in the A class? Create an object for the B class, call that method, right? So simply what you will do in the A class, new equal to B, that means you are creating object for the B and B dot get order history. Okay, and A class is already having user information. So A class will pass Dilip 123. Right? So now what will happen? Request JVM will go from here to this method and it will start executing. You will get everything as a list of objects. Finally, A is getting list of objects or not? List of orders or not? It's a simple class to class communication. Very core Java thing. Right? Fine. Now you will pass this to wherever you want. Maybe it is a front end or whatever it is. Now my intention here it is how you are making a connectivity between user module versus order module in monolithic point of. Now, for example, if I take the same requirement with respect to microservices, I want to achieve same requirement. Okay, I want to achieve same requirement. What you will do? So here expected output is what, guys? Output means result. list of orders. List of orders offer that user or not. That is what the expected or not. Right? Fine. Now if I have same thing with respect to monolithic, microservices, what we are going to do. So now if it is microservices architecture, okay, fine. This is the requirement. Now when it goes to the microservices architecture, microservices is saying deal orders logic in one web application. Okay, deal users related logic in one application, one another web application. So now my point here it is, can I access one web application source code or a class A web application, B web application, or let's take X comma Y. X is a web application 1, Y is a web application 2. Two web applications. Can I access Y source code into X automatically? Like however we done with the monolithic point of view. Is it possible? One project source code can I access by another project source code? No, right? It is not possible. There is no way, right? There is no way you can access. But here, how it is possible in the monolithic? Everything you written in the same project and the single web under one single Spring web application you written, everything has a different packages. But here, not different packages, different applications. Then how can you access? But still, in order module level, already I have a logic. Okay, so now let's take with respect to this is user microservice. From the user, okay, this is web application. Okay, and assume this order history related things and all you written under an application called as okay orders related microservice, and this is web application 2. Now, how can you access? Assume you written logic here, same logic here. So this logic is available inside which microservice, guys, this time? Order microservice. But you have to access this logic from the user microservice. Can you create object for the class? Okay, assume here also I'll take class name as B only. Okay, here also I will take class name as A. Now, can I create object for the B class inside A, which belongs to the user web application? Is it possible? There is no way, right? So then how can you access? But still I should not write order history related things inside the user microservice. That is what user microservices architecture is saying. You have to build a small service. You have to build a microservice. That microservice should be specific to that functionality only. Okay, you should not write create order logic. Can I write down inside the user microservice? Add product logic inside the user? No, right? Similarly, delivery related logic, can I write down inside the products microservice? There is no relation in between products versus delivery, right? Logic point of view. Think only developer point of view, as a Java developer point of view. So that is what microservices is saying. So divide your business requirements into small, okay, individual and interoperable microservices. Interoperable means internally operating. Okay, so we will see that. So now my point to understand here, how can you access in this situation then? But still I have to access this source code via A. I will pass only Dilip123 as a user ID from the A application. But A want to get all the information of Dilip123 as of now, how many orders being placed. Then what you will do? What is the concept you know? Exchanging communication between two applications, web services. So out of web services nowadays, only thing is most of the times REST services. Okay, REST services, right? So now, yeah, REST services is the correct. Okay, now in this case, assume this is somehow I written as a REST service. Okay, when I started writing Java code or inside the B application, order application, I written like this /orders/ user ID. Okay, now tell me, is it easy or not? Now what user web application will do? Now what is the logic I have to write down inside A class with respect to user web application? Here it is a REST service. Now order is saying my functionality is available as a REST service, and they given what? The microservice, the REST service details also. This is the host name, this is the path. Here you have to pass path variable, and they are saying like it is a get call, something like that. They given all the information. Now, what you will do inside A class? What you know as of now the concept? Tell me. 100% REST template only, right? We know, right? By using REST template, you can call another web application REST services into your web application, right? So that means now what is that? What you will say? Consuming logic you will write down with respect to REST template. So then you will write down REST template dot get for entity method, something like that. You will pass the URL, you will pass path variable, then automatically a request will reach us from your user microservice, user web application to order microservice, and order will process your request, and order will give response back to the user microservice. So now what is the point you understood? Tomorrow I want to see, okay, user would like to see what is his delivery status. He made a product, I created an order today. Okay, tomorrow once I connect it to my laptop or my mobile, I want to see where my order is available, when it will be delivered. So that means the delivery related logic, where it will be available? Delivery microservice level. But the user point of view, user related logic, assume it is available in the user microservice. Then how will you make the communication in between user versus delivery? Same again, REST services communication. So that means now if you are converting your requirement into as a microservices application, then what is the biggest challenge here? Monolithic is easy or microservices easy with respect to communication of code? Monolithic or microservices? 100% is monolithic. Simple core Java. Create B, new B, B dot method name, done. But here, REST template, you have to do so many other things, entity, HTTP entity, path variables, URL, so many things you have to do. Then, at the same time, I will ask one more question. When you are having 100 microservices as part of the project, that means how many REST services will be available? Thousands of REST services. That means one microservice is communicating to the how many microservices? N number of microservices. Sometimes user can connect it to delivery. What is his delivery status? User can explore the products. User can place the orders. User can make the payment. Okay. User can chat with the customer care. Right? We will have a chat option or not. Right? So user can connect to the customer care like this. And payment order can connect it to the payment microservice. Why? Because when user is making payment is failed, then order is going to be created. So that means in such case, order microservice is communicating with the payment microservice or not for the status. Like that, every individual microservice is internally communicating with another microservices every time. Okay, one microservice can connect it to any number of other we have to make sure one microservice is communicating with n number of other microservices. But here, the biggest challenge with respect to one microservice communication to another microservice communication, with another microservice, what it is? It's all the problem with the microservices communication. You have to write down REST services. That means now, guess, if I return in the payment microservice level, the things, okay, not as a REST services. In the payment microservice level, I did not implemented things as a REST services. I just written a simple service layer methods as a simple Java methods. Like I written inside earlier case point of view, okay, like this. In this case, is it a REST service? In monolithic point of view, simple Java method you are calling from the another Java class. Now same thing I have written inside the payment microservice like that. Okay, same thing. I written a method. It's not a REST service. It's a simple Java method. I did not written any controller method. I written only service method for everything. Now, how can you access all these things? Who is this guy? Please turn off your videos. We cannot see. Okay. So sorry. So now a payment did not implemented functionality as a REST API. Then how can you access that logic? But you have to access same logic from other microservice. So is there any way? without web services, how can we execute a request on another application? Is there any concept we discussed as of now? No concept, right? So that means there is no way. So that means now with respect to microservice point of view, guess how you are implementing the requirements. 100% as a REST services or not? 100% as a REST services. Every functionality will become as a REST service. Every functionality will implement as a REST service under the microservices architecture. Because whenever it is a REST service, if you created REST services, I can call your REST services easily. If I created my functionality as a REST services, you can call my services easily from your applications. Okay, like that. Every web application, every individual microservice application will implement their functionalities as a REST services only. Now, when we are making communication between one service to another service, it's all about producer versus consumer concept. Okay, it's all about producer versus consumer concept. So that's why the REST services popularity is more and more nowadays. If you go here, wherever you will go, 100% REST services is available nowadays. You should know how to implement. You should know how to access REST services. That means you should know how to produce REST services. You should know how to consume REST services. These two ways you should become master, because without REST services, there is no concept of microservices. Without REST services, there is no concept of microservices. But we will see how easily we can make the communication, not only REST template, there are some easy ways available with respect to microservices communication point of view. At the time, I will discuss what are the drawbacks with the REST template. If you are using REST, we will not use REST template as part of the microservices, but concept is same. We will use one more functionality with respect to only microservices architecture. We will see that. Okay, so now guess here how many servers you need? Monolithic point of view. Assume as a simple small developer application point of view, how many servers you want? Only one server, one single WAR file. So what is the effort of deploying your application into server level to make sure your application is up and running? Very easy. Only one jar file, only one WAR file, copy, deploy it in and Tomcat, restart your Tomcat server. Then your application will up and running. But when it comes to the microservices, what is the drawback? You are created a number of microservices, a number of web applications. Assume you created 15 microservices. How many times you have to do the deployment on the Tomcat server? 15 applications. Web application 1, done. Web application 2, done. Web application 3, done. Web application 4. So your efforts are increasing with respect to deployments or maintenance or not. When comparing with the monolithic, microservices is involving a lot of manual efforts, as well as microservices is taking a lot of infrastructure when comparing with the monolithic, right? So monolithic wise, I need only one single Java project. Okay, one single Tomcat server or something. But when it comes to microservices, multiple Java projects, multiple WAR files, multiple deployments. So that means it is involving the complexity of infrastructure. It is going to take more cost with respect to microservices or not. So when comparing with the monolithic, microservices is involving a lot of amount with respect to infrastructure or not? Obviously, right? So things maintaining as single under one box is very easy. Things maintaining as multiple boxes and making sure one box is connected to another box and every box is placed into right place is very easy. Which one will take with respect to efforts point of view, with respect to infrastructure point of view, with respect to amount point of view, which will save amount? Monolithic or microservices? Monolithic only, but still why people are going with the microservices. Okay, so there are a lot of challenges, somewhat complexity is involved inside the microservices architecture with respect to coding, CI/CD point of view, with respect to development, with respect to deployment, with respect to integration is nothing but deployment. So with respect to developer point of view, with respect to supporting, nothing but deployment point of view, also you are going to maintain a lot of difficulties. But why still people are bothering about the microservices? Okay, so now let's discuss the most important advantage. Okay, we will try to understand in a simple terminology. For example, we already discussed all these things. I know that. I remembered it. Okay, in our demos itself, I discussed after that also I discussed one more time also. Okay, but anyway, we'll discuss. For example, I have a requirement like this. Flipkart big billion sale. We discussed or not? We discussed, I know that. A use case I am taking now. Flipkart big billion sale. Okay. So assume they are announcing from May 13 to May 15, something like that. Something like that they announced. Now, when it comes to the big billion sale, you know the offers. They will announce like up to 80%, something like that. Assume they are giving good discounts also for those 3 days. Now, in this case, okay, so think as a simple terminology, simple common man point of view. So the sale, I mean, when I used Flipkart application on May 5th, that means today, May 5th, assume how many customers will use on May 5th. As a simple use case point of view, I'm taking 100K. That means 1 lakh members per day. On a regular days, Flipkart application is being used by 1 lakh members. For example, if you are taking myself, I did not open Flipkart from last 10 days. There is no need of any products. Even I have a product requirement, but I am not emergency with that product. But after that, when I'm going through somewhere else, I found a news something like, or I found an advertisement like on 13th to 18, 80% off is there. Then definitely what I will do, even though I'm not buying the products, okay, even though I'm not buying the products, on May 13th, and that to assume they will define one more offer also. If you ordered at May 13th, early morning, like midnight at 12 p.m. on May 12th, that means once 13th day started, if you are ordering the first 2 hours or first 3 hours, we will give extra 5%. Like that, they will try to grab the attention of customers, right? So now tell me, on May 13th morning, how many users will be, how many customers will access the Flipkart application? So can I say like 10 times? At least take 5 times. 100% is 5 times will be there. Like that means 500K. 5 lakh, okay, 500K we taken here it is. So then what is the load in between a regular day to a big billion sale day? How much percentage it is increased? 500%, right? Only with now as a single customer on regular days, how many products I will explore? I logged into my Flipkart account today. Okay, I want something, I want to buy so and so mouse. I will explore only mouse or I will explore everything. I mean, in simple, general as a human psychology point of view. We will try to explore only mouse probably or may not one more product on regular days, right? What we require, we will do that. But when it comes to the, so that means assume as a customer, single customer point of view, I explored 5 products. Okay, I can say like 2 to 5 products. I'm just exploring, I'm not buying. It's a free of cost, right? Okay, so fine, 2 to 5 products I explored. So in such case, I will click on the mobiles, I will see mobile details. I will click on the mouse, I will see the mobile details. Like that, as a single customer point of view, I send 5 requests on regular days. Now, when it comes to the big billion sale day, what I will do? I will explore only 2 to 5 products. Never. We will explore everything what Flipkart is displaying as an offer. JBL up to 90%. We will see. We will click on that image. Why? Which product they are giving for 90% so that I can buy that product. Once you are opening that next page, they will display, okay, Apple laptop within 40,000. Then again, we will click on that. Okay, but our account will have only 5,000 rupees in our account. Okay, our bank balance is only 5,000, but we are clicking on products for 40,000, 50,000. So just like what we are trying to do here, exploring the things based on Flipkart attraction, whatever the business statistics they are applying. Now in this case, definitely, and that too they will apply these things on the holidays time. That too public holidays. Okay, that too public holidays time they will announce August 15th like that. So that means public holiday means it's an holiday for everyone, every field, either IT field or government field or whatever it is, right? So that means everyone is very free by sitting at our homes. That too early morning hours, something like that. Now, how many products I will explore? Okay, minimum 20 products, 20 to 50 also I can say. For 1.5 hours continuously, I will see what are the offers available on the laptops, what are the offers available on the mobiles, what are the offers available on the Bluetooth, what are the offers available on the so and so, okay, home appliances or dresses or whatever it is, right? So we will start looking for everything. So like that, you are sending request for as a single customer point of view. Now, what is the percentage of exploring products is increased here? 5 to 50. 50 times, right? 50 times it is increased or 10 times. 10%, right? Okay. Not even 20. We will explore more than that also, but still okay. Let's take a regular. I will explore 2 and 20. Okay, assume the load is improved. I mean, in regular case, it is 2. I can say like the variation is all about 100%, not even 100%, 500%. Something like that. Don't go too much calculations. Okay, fine. Now in this case, a single customer, now with respect to monolithic, okay, your source code is available, Java file is available inside the same project. Your order products related logic is also available inside the same project, monolithic. Okay, even orders related everything available inside the same project. Payment is also available under the same project. That means the Java source code. Now, whenever you are doing the user login, with respect to user's point of view, what is the count, guys, on regular days? 100K per with respect to user code access. Okay, whatever the REST services you return under the monolithic, how many requests will go to the Java class? 100K, right? When it comes to products also, okay, and when 100K is nothing but I will give you overall 100 into 5 equal to 500K. So these are all requests going for the products, exploring the products. Okay, so now your web application is available and you are sending 5,000, okay, 5 lakh requests with respect to products, also fine. Now your application is working as expected. But all of a sudden, okay, on May 13th morning, your web application, okay, when people are started logging into your application due to the offers and everything. So here, with respect to user, how many requests are going, guys? 500K, right? With respect to users, okay, your application is capable to handle until this. But when it comes to the products, how many requests are going? 500K users into 50, right? So that means how many requests are going? 25,000K. So that means 25 lakhs or something like that, right? 25 lakhs requests are going to the product source code level. So, but your application is capable of dealing with only 10 lakh or I can say like 10,000K only. So what it is, the capability of your application is 10,000K only, but you're okay, you know that it is going to reach to the 25,000, more than 10,000 requests handling at a time. Then in such case, if it is going beyond 10,000, what will happen? Out of memory, errors will come and then finally your application will go down and you will get server down. So that is what will happen in most of our real life scenarios also. When you go to the any real time scenarios like government will announce some schemes, May 12th, you have to apply this, otherwise it will be not applicable. Then what people will do, early morning people will go on there and people everywhere will start, then that government application will always go down. Because every day people will use only 10 to 15 members for that application, but on that day thousands of users. And you know that government applications, how they will run, right? So that is how things will happen. Your application will go down out beyond the limit threshold. Okay, once the load threshold, I mean, once the load is going beyond, your application is going down. So then what you will plan for the big billion sale? Now as a developer point of view, you know that it will definitely more than 10,000 and this will deal only with 10,000. Then what you will do? You will take one more Tomcat server and you will deploy all these functionalities into, I mean, your Java project into this Tomcat server or not, right? Now somehow you managed the, okay, request routing coming from the people, 10,000 should go here, 10,000 should go here, okay, and assume you created one more Tomcat server also, And here also you deployed your monolithic application, and beyond 10,000 any requests are going. So those requests has to be routed here like that. Somehow you managed it. Finally your things are done. But here, what is the drawback? Now understand, you are running your application on the runtime level. Deployment, I mean, it's a server level as a runtime level. So runtime point of view, it is why you made 3 Tomcat servers in this use case. Why not only one? Because of this reason. Which reason? Products reason. But when you deploy, so in this case, I'm getting 100K requirements with respect to user logins point of view. 500K with respect to user logins. But my server can handle all 500 user related by one Tomcat server itself. But products related logic cannot handle because it is going more than 10,000. Okay, that's why what we decided, we plan to maintain couple of extra counters, or just like we will see in our real life also, right? First they will keep one counter. Floating is coming, add extra counter so that it is very easy. Like that. So you are adding one more things like that. But what is the problem here? It is you are making one more Tomcat setup for the purpose of products. But what is the other code also you are deploying? You are deploying users also or not? User source code also, dot class, user related dot class files available inside the OR or not? Similarly, orders, delivery, customer care, all other all other functionalities, logic, or the bytecode dot classes, whatever I can say, everything is automatically deploying into the Tomcat or not? You are making another Tomcat for the purpose of dealing with only products related request. But unnecessarily, other source code or other dot class files, other bytecode is also getting loaded or deployed into your Tomcat servers or not? Right? So that is what. If you are making things for one thing, but you are unnecessarily making deployment of all other things also. Okay, this is how the drawbacks or microservices, sorry, monolithic is came out. So now their intention here it is, if it is Tomcat server, in reality, servers are very cost. Okay, in reality, servers are very cost. It will be in millions of dollars. It's not like 1 lakh, 2 lakhs. It will be like million, okay, $2 lakh, $3 lakh, not even 1,000 rupees like that. Okay, so in reality, they will think like what they are thinking here it is, why? Because of the products reason, why we are deploying all other source code also. I want only product in as a 3 copies. So that 10,000, 10,000, 5,000. But along with product, unnecessarily I am bringing all other things and I am deploying it with the product. And unnecessary things I am deploying along with the products if it is monolithic. Now if it is microservices, what microservices is they saying here it is? So if you are not handling this mechanism, what will happen, guys? Your application will be broken. Then customers will get irritated. Then customers will immediately go to the Twitter, Instagram, and people will start trolling about the Flipkart. Like Flipkart is making fake promises, fake sales. Okay, like that you will start making the things and you will start reducing the feedback of the Flipkart. You will give negative ratings to the Flipkart. Then Flipkart business will go down or not. Next time Flipkart is announcing a sale, Amazon is announcing a sale. On the day Amazon is performing very well. So next time, will you attract it to Amazon or Flipkart? Most of the customers will attract you to the Amazon because Amazon application is not going down. Flipkart's application is going down. Here they are ready to give all the discounts. Problem is from the infrastructure like that. Okay, so now in this case, Flipkart thinks about the infrastructure, what they are investing for the purpose of application implementation, or they will think only about the once application development is completed, the application is being used by the customers. What they will think more? They are going to think about, okay, if I went to the monolithic, the project will be completed within 1 year and they are charging only $1 million with respect to 1 year development, Infosys company, something like that, or Flipkart. Now, if I went into microservices now, Infosys will give you a quotation like, this will take 1.5 years, but we will charge $2 million. Now, what Flipkart will choose? If Flipkart will feel like, okay, if I am going with monolithic, I can save $1 million. Then, okay, they implemented my monolithic and they deployed into top so and so way, and people, customers have started using it. One fine day, it is going every time down, 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 down. Then how much business they are losing? Millions, not even $1 million. They are losing $10 million, $200 million also. And they are going to get negative impact. One fine day, no one will use Flipkart application. And finally, they have to shut down their offices and everything. They have to do that. These are all things will happen with so many things, guys. At one point of time, Paytm is also maintained e-commerce. There are other applications also. So many people are coming with the e-commerce at one point of time. After that, they were not able to run it due to their application performance or whatever it is. So that's why business will not think about the investment while creating the application. Business will think always after application development, how much application is stable, how much application, okay, making the performance and how it is satisfying the customers. That is what business team will think. And they will say like, no, go with microservices. We will give $2 million because my application has to function without 1 second delay, without 1 second outage, without 1 second should not go down. So my application has to perform like that so that my customers should be happy. They should promote my applications automatically. So then I can get automatically $10 million, $200 million as a profit. So that is how customers banking, any business team will think. Now in this case, what microservices is saying here it is, with respect to the same use case, if I am taking with respect to microservices, if I am taking same use case. Now in this case, what it was saying is it is, okay, you are having problem with the products, right? You need more instances. Let's start your product as 3 instances, 4 instances, 5 instances. So now product is running as on how many instances, guys? How many instances? Nothing but you deployed into one Tomcat server, right? So then we can call it as a one instance. That's the terminology. Okay, now in this case, I made products application is deployed into 5 instances. Now 5 into 10,000, it will, 10,000 requests, something like that. Now it will automatically act, 50,000 until 50,000 K, now products will handle, but your requirement is only 25,000. So then you made 5 instances. Now what you made? Only product. Because why? It's an individual now. In microservices, we made that as a individual project. That's why it is, you can make 5, 10 also. Now similarly, tomorrow you felt like payment also, I want 3 instances, so that people should not face any problems with the payments. Generally, if you go to the IRCTC, where your transactions will fail most of the times, we will select your seat, you will do everything in the IRCTC, Tatkal timing especially. When your transaction will fail, I'll see most of the times at payment only, right? Once you click on the payment, you will enter, you will click round, transaction failed, seat not booked, right? So that is what kind of real scenarios. Now, that's what sometimes we will feel like even though we are trying to book on the Tatkal, it will not happen. They will deduct our amount. They will not book our they will not create a ticket. They will refund our amount after 3-4 days, something like that. So like, okay, whatever it is. Now you are making payment only as 3 instances. Yes, you can make. So that means why you are having this much customization here with respect to one microservice functionality to another microservice functionality? Because we created everything as a individual microservices, individual service, so that I can make that individual web application as a number of instances. Now after May 15, again, I don't want 5 instances. I want regular. I'm running only 2 instances. Yes, you can stop other 3 instances and only maintain only 2 product instances like that. Now in this case, if I have 100 microservices or 100 functionalities, okay, if in this case, out of 100 microservices, 10 microservices are very critical and I'm making n number of instances for 10, but remaining 90 microservices, you are not bringing up, so that automatically you are saving infrastructure or you are utilizing the resources of infrastructure or not. For example, in this case, what is the JVM usage? Monolithic point of view, can I say like 80%? Because you deployed for the product, but it is deployed user, delivery, all these things. Those .class files also loaded into JVM or not, right? Now in this case, when it comes to the entire cloud environment point of view, if you are thinking what really you require, that is only you are occupying. What really you are not required, that's nowhere you are not involving. It's not occupying the unnecessary memory. But here, user is not really 100% as required in this case for me. But still, user is occupying the JVM memory or not. Similarly, delivery is not required in this case. I want only for the product point of view, product logic execution point of view. But delivery is accessing JVM or not, right? So that means in the runtime level, which will make application performance is better. You have to make sure JVM, RAM memory, all these are all very low. I mean, you have to make sure your application is performing very well, means it's all about the JVM performance point of view or not, loading the memory point of view or not, Java runtime memory point of view or not, right? So that is what the reality of the microservices. Now customers, sorry, business people. Okay, now business people, let me save it. Okay, so now business team will not think always about the why, what they are investing while you are creating the application. They will always think about the stability of the application, performance of the application. Why? With respect to customer satisfaction. If customer is not satisfied, no business will run, right? We know that. Even when we are starting our businesses also, we will try to always satisfy the customers, right? So that is how customers, business teams will not think about the infrastructure, what they are investing while they are starting the application, while they are implementing the application. They will think always about after application implementation, once we are rolling out that application into the customers, how customers are happy with that our application. Whenever, whether it is a normal days or offers days, the application should represent as a same performance. I should not say like normal days it will work very well, but offers day it will go down. Then customers will dissatisfied. They'll give negative ratings. One fine day, no one will trust you and no one will use your web application, so that your business will go down. So that's why people will not bother about. So monolithic is developer point of view easy, as well as cost point of view also very less cost is involving the monolithic. So when it comes to microservices is involving lot of infrastructure, lot of developer knowledge also. The skilled developers we require. Why? Monolithic is all about if you know core Java very well, you can complete our application. But microservices, no. What knowledge you want? You should know what is web application, REST services, HTTP methods, consuming, producing, HTTP entity, headers. 100% REST services knowledge you know. And at that too, you are dealing with how many microservices? 100 microservices. So that means you have to be very skilled how to access one REST service with the another. I mean, how to access REST services of another application from this application like this. See, in real time, generally like this also happen, guys. A is a microservice, B is a microservice, C is a microservice, D is a microservice. So D is from the third party outside of the world. I mean, outside, not world, outside of your project. This is your microservices project. So in this case, front end request come to the A. Okay, that will go to the B. That request we are forwarding to the B microservice. Microservice 1. So something like that. You will have microservice 2 and microservice 3 in your project. Now once you request, so here you should know how to access REST service of microservice 2. From the microservice 2, you are consuming REST service of microservice 3. From the microservice 3, you are connecting to the some third party application. Assume it is a Flipkart now. Okay, it is payment gateway. Is that true or not? Payment gateway is really product of Flipkart? No, it's a separate company. They are maintaining their own REST services. They are giving access to us. Flipkart is paying some amount. So like that. So now microservices 3 is calling the payment gateway microservice by using some security tokens, all these things. So that means as a developer knowledge point of view also, microservices need skilled developers. So that's why microservices project is going to involve a lot of cost. But still, people will not think about the cost with respect to software applications. What they will think always about the stability and performance. So for that, they will invest a lot of amount. They keep on investing the amount. So, do you know anything else similar to Instagram? Any other applications? No, we don't have. Threads? But are we using really threads? Snapchat? Okay, even Snapchat also. Okay, WhatsApp also Snapchat we can take. Which one people knows very well? Which one people will use more? Except students. Students will use Snap. But when it comes to okay, all the customer point of view, even I don't know until last year or before last year what is Snapchat. Before last year only I came to know that there is an application available, Snapchat. Okay, and I just installed it and I started communicating with Snapchat via my, okay, to my, I mean, whatever my cousins or whatever it is. I'm just telling you. So, but WhatsApp, everyone knows. Even your grandmas also knows about the WhatsApp, right? So now why Snapchat is same, WhatsApp is same. But when you are messaging, when you are sending photos, when you are exchanging any information via Snapchat or via WhatsApp, where you felt performance is very more, 100% WhatsApp phone. So that is how business will trying to make sure their applications are giving better performance so that their applications will be staying in the first position or in the competition level so that they can gain the market, they can gain the business. So like that, there are a lot of replica applications will be available, but everything is not a competitor because of the performance of the application. As a customer, we will feel always about the performance or not. 100%. If I given two options, option number one, option number two, it's not performing very well. It's performing very well. Then what you will choose next time onwards? Blindly. You will always remember option two. Then option one will go down slowly and one fine day they will shut down their business. So that's how people will start the things. So microservices are in your project you are using. Who is this Nagaraju? From last 4 months, I'm saying I'm working on the microservices project. I'm saying from last 4 months, I'm working on the project of microservices. And what is my project name? What is my project name? At least which domain? Healthcare, medical. I told you, right? Virtual pharmacy, virtual pharmacy, virtual pharmacy. Right? So it's all, we are having around 60 microservices. That also I told you so many times. 60 microservices. Yeah, fine. Okay. So pharmacy related application, virtual pharmacy, advanced home delivery is my project. It's all about home delivery of the medicine. But yes, we are working on not only my project, guys. Nowadays, any minimum business level application, enterprise level, don't think like Naresh IT website, okay, or something like a travels website, not even Abibus. Abibus will okay. Something I can say like your friend started a business and he created a website. Don't think that as a microservices. Microservices is all about business enterprise level applications. Enterprise is nothing but dealing with the universally customers, something like that. Okay. Customer base should be more than 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 1 million, 2 million, something like that. So nowadays, that's what I'm telling you. Everywhere it is microservices concept only. Now, okay, fine. As part of the microservices, I'll leave in another 15-20 minutes. We will leave. Yeah, that's what you're only saying startup company, right? Nagaraju. That's why it is monolithic. So that's what I told you. When it is small application, you will not go directly to the, see, you started a business today, man. What you will do? You know that your customers will from your neighbors or maybe in your Hyderabad, first a small city. Your target is only small city. 10 lakhs you invested. But somehow your business is clicked. Even you are not expected that. You expected per day, I will get 100 orders. Maximum. But somehow it is reaching 150, 200 also. Then what you will feel? You will start expanding. That means you will now, but some customers will come back to you and they will say like, yes, if everything is good, somehow we are facing problem with while we are making orders on your website, we are feeling sometimes lagging. Sometimes our orders are not getting placed like that. Then what you will think? You will think like, okay, let them do. I will not increase my application. What you will do? Then you will approach to the customer, respective software company and you will ask like, please improve my application performance. Then they will say like, your application is implemented on so and so technology. With this technology, we cannot do anything. We have to improve the technology. Then they will give you the amount. Then you will pay that amount. Now your customers base is increasing. Per day, you are getting 1,000 orders. Like that, slowly. Okay, the things. Now you know, that's what. ID. You know, ready-made batter. ID. Idli dosa batter. In shops, they are selling, right? Ready-made. Even you don't know these things also. ID. Have you seen anytime brand ID? At least image-wise, you can identify. ID batter. This image, at least, have you seen anywhere else? No? This one. This ID company. You know how it is started? From where it is started? From the Bangalore guy, from the Bangalore person. He started with 10,000. He started with 10,000 rupees. He started first making batter to serve in his local area until this street. But now it became international. Now it became international. So that's what. Things will change, right? Step by step. Now, initially he started without any web application manually delivering to the homes. Slowly his batter got a good feedback. Then he started delivering to the couple of other streets also. Then it reached to the Bangalore. Then it reached to the other metropolitan cities. Then it reached to the all other areas. Then it reached to the international also. Now, in this ID company, Tata companies also invested the amount by seeing their growth. They started funding Tata company. So that means that is what. Now, do you think ID battery will not have any web application? So I think it is under the CID fresh food. So now, do you think this kind of applications they will still implement as a HTML and CSS? No, right? They will go with some React JS. They will go with some good performance. Now, Flipkart is having millions of users. Netflix is running on. I already told you it is running on 700 microservices or something. You know why microservices has got popular? Because of Netflix only. First thing is Netflix earlier started using monolithic. They are facing buffering problems. They are facing streaming problems when customers are increasing. Then they started identifying the solution to make sure streaming is very stable out of all the countries, out of all the customers. Then they identified a solution called as microservices. Then they identified a solution called as microservices and they started implementing into that and they announced it. They started Netflix into microservices architecture, something like that. Now automatically all other companies started looking into microservices architecture. Even in our Spring Boot also, tomorrow once we are going to learn the coding part, there are some couple of concepts available, Eureka server, Eureka client. Those are all modules are open source project implemented by the Netflix only. So that means tomorrow, day after tomorrow, once we are going to use the code, what we are using inbuilt functionalities, what we are using, those are all given by Netflix to the Spring team. That means open source. Netflix made it as open source. So Spring Framework made an agreement with the Netflix and those couple of modules, Spring Framework is implemented and they are giving it to us as a Spring Boot components or Spring Boot modules like that. So because of Netflix, it came very popular. So that's why news is very important, guys. At least technical news. Don't follow unnecessary movie news. Okay, you can follow. That's an entertainment, but make priority to the technical things. Understand the things. So it is officially from the Netflix blog. So what they did, something like that. They are explaining how it is being implemented. So Netflix started with monolith and moved to the microservices. And there are a lot of drawbacks available with monolithic also. We will try to discuss a couple of drawbacks once we are going through the space by phase programming. Then I will say like this is the advantage with the microservice. But if you want to do same thing with the monolithic, then we will try to understand. Okay. So please try to go through the online forums to enhance your skill set. Not only service A, service B. Airbnb, you know what is Airbnb? No? It's a something like similar to Make My Trip, hotel booking, travelings related. But it is very popular with respect to outside of the world. I mean, outside of our India. India is also there, but internationally, this is very popular application. Very popular company. Tomorrow, when you got a call from the Airbnb, don't feel like it is a startup. Sometimes this is will happen. Even sometimes I will also feel, guys. It's not like that. I'll get a call and they will say like a company name. And I'll say like, I've never heard about this company. I don't want. Then they will say like, do you know really about this company? I said no. Then they will start telling this is the company. Then once I open, I will found it as a product based company and they will give more money than the regular service based companies. So sometimes we will not realize. They are just explaining how okay, so Airbnb is running earlier. Now how monolithic, I mean, how they are making API gateway. This is what I told you. Okay, this is what I told you here. I mean, we will, I did not introduce the terminology, but I told you one point here it is. What it is, making everything under one port. By using API gateway, we will do that. All microservices connected to one port. Okay, by using a concept called as API gateway. So that is what we are going to discuss. Presentation service, okay, leave it, meter services, databases. Rerouting queries to data services, monolithic. See here, they're saying like how monolithic is getting connected. So if it is microservices, a request will always comes to the gateway. Gateway will do routing to the so-and-so services like that. Migrating the reads, monolithic service. So here they are talking about migrating the reads. Inter-service communication. This is what the word I used in our introduction. So how we are making inter-service communication with respect to microservices, REST services, right? REST template, but REST template is we will not use. We will use some other technology. We will use other solution. So please, my intention, I mean, my suggestion to you is follow the technical news, tech news, read the couple of things. At least don't feel Netflix is always an entertainment. Netflix is a good company. They will give you, once you got in job in Netflix, sometimes you may get salary more than Amazon also. That much good company Netflix is. It is having software companies. You know that at least? Only entertainment. No. Amazon, all these things are all having software companies. Netflix is also a very good product based company. Okay. So, I'll leave you once discussing small point. Spring. I will discuss couple of other points. Tomorrow, I will not take too much today. What I will discuss tomorrow is, okay, now I will ask one question. If it is Spring Web application, what is the difficulty here, guys? You have to create a separate WAR file. You have to deploy into Tomcat server. If you are using Spring as part of the microservices architecture, you have to create a WAR file, and these are all WAR files you have to deploy on a third party or a external Tomcat server or a external web application. But if I take in everything as a Spring Boot applications, here you need to create any WAR file. You need any external Tomcat server. That web application internally it's having its own Tomcat server. Similarly, this web application having its own internal Tomcat server. Like that, every web application is having internally its own integrated Tomcat server. So now in this case, with respect to Spring versus Spring Boot, which is compatible to microservices, Spring Boot. When it comes to monolithic, Spring. Okay, because monolithic is always you need only one server, one single WAR file. You will do one time deployment. But here 100 microservices, that means you are going to maintain 100 port numbers, 100 Tomcat servers like that. No, it's very difficult. That's why Spring Boot came up with an idea of integrated Tomcat server and they implemented on top of Spring framework only. We will discuss those points tomorrow with respect to theory. Let me show you one small thing and then we will leave by 10. Okay, so see here, microservices architecture is a new normal building, small, self-contained, ready to run. So Spring Boot is a ready to run application or not? If I given that jar file to you in your Tomcat server, I mean, not into Tomcat server. If you are running the jar file, it will automatically start with internal Tomcat server. To run Spring Boot web application, you need a Tomcat server. No, right? It will always internally coming up with integrated Tomcat server. That is what they are trying to say. Ready to run applications can bring great flexibility and added resilience to your code. Flexibility means what we discussed with respect to one use case now. Products. This is all flexibility or not? With respect to products, I can increase. With respect to payment, I can increase, I can decrease. Right? It is all about the flexibility of the services or not. That is what they are talking. Spring Boot's many purpose built-in features make it easy to build your microservices production at scale. That's what. See, they are saying like, that is the purpose only Spring Boot is released into the market when they are already having Spring Framework, because to build very easily microservices, like implement and run it like that. Very easy, man. And don't forget, no microservices architecture is complete without Spring Cloud. Okay. So generally, what is the Spring Cloud? We will discuss day after tomorrow. Tomorrow we will discuss that. What are microservices? Microservices are a modern approach to software where, it's all about, that is what we discussed. Why build microservices? Their small scale and relative isolation can lead to many additional benefits, such as easier maintenance, improved productivity, greater fault tolerance, better business alignment, and more. So that means relative isolation. Isolation is nothing but, even in real-time projects, what we will do is, I'll give you small theory point of view. We will not do that here. What they will do is, they will write logic like that. They will enable something like that. For example, products, I'm running on only one instance. Now what they will do is, when products instance, JVM memory is going beyond 50%. Slowly, customers are accessing, it is going 50%. Then automatically they will bring up one more product instance, because first service JVM is reaching more than 50%. So that's why what they written script like automatically start one more instance of the product. Now how many instances available? 2. Now by average, again they will calculate 1, 2. What is the JVM usage? Again, by average also it is reaching more than 50%. Then again they will start one more. On Big Billion Days sales, people will not start manually 5, 6, something like that. That is how the Flipkart, Netflix, all these things will happen. Okay, automatically decreasing the number of instances based on the usage. Okay, like that, etc. Things will happen. Now, day 1, so many users. Day 2, so many users. Day 3, all the offers are completed, out of stocks came. Then what? Customers are starting. Customers will start reducing customer count. Then what will happen? Automatically, assume by the time 5 instances started. Now they will see average out of 5, less than 50. Less than 50%. Then what they will do? They will do -1. They will stop one instance. Now again 4 out of average 5. Okay, going to the less than 50%. Then they will start one more -1 more instance. Now they will make always the stable 1 or 2, something like that. They will write down. If it is reaching 2, then don't go with another calculation, something like that. So this is what about the isolation. In Corona, you heard it about, right? What is isolation? Recovering from yourself. When you got Corona, you heard this word? Isolation rooms. What it is? What is the meaning of isolation? You are affected with Corona and they are saying like you have to stay in isolation rooms or you have to be isolated. What is the meaning of it? Getting recovered from the Corona, taking care and getting recovered from the Corona is all about isolation. That is what? Getting out of it. Taking care of yourself, something like that. That is what the meaning of isolation, self-isolation. Can lead to many additional benefits. That's what they are saying. Okay, productivity and everything. So microservices, leave it. Microservices with Spring Boot, we will see that. Don't worry, I will explain. So this is the architecture we will also follow. Okay, so if you see here, this is the architecture. This is the gateway we will implement. What we are going to implement as part of microservices, I am telling you. Now you know how to create Spring Boot web application. Do I need to teach you what is Spring Boot application, how to create Spring Boot application? What is how to make communication between one Spring Boot application to another Spring Boot application? What is REST service? No, right? So that means this is a known area or not? Now these are all what? Microservices. Microservice 1, microservice 2, microservice 3 under Flipkart project. Assume like user, order, payment, products, like that microservices. Now what these guys are saying here it is, these are all comes under the microservices, individual microservices. So see, that's why they are given the architecture like this, connected internally, connected one microservice to another microservice, communication point of view. We will do via REST template as of now, what we know. Okay, fine. Now, what is the gateway? Understand here, the request is coming from the mobile applications, request coming from the browser applications. So that means from the customers, the request always reaching to the gateway. Gateway is making all individual microservices connected as a single application, like that gate. So it's a main entrance. So internally, so many functionalities, but everyone has to enter only via that gateway. Every request has to. So we will discuss that. Okay. So we will discuss about API gateway. We will implement it. We will implement what is config server. We will implement service registry. We will implement circuit breaker also. We will not implement this. This is not required. I'm telling you. And databases anyway we will use. They are just saying like, if you want to do any analysis, data science operations, all these things, message brokers. Nowadays, there are some couple of concepts available for the message brokers. But we will discuss config server, service registry, circuit breaker, API gateway, and what is the purpose of each and every component from this architecture, Spring Boot microservices architecture. Okay. So that's what I told you. Microservices is not a technology. It's an architecture, how to manage your actual business logic application. And now in this overall process, where your where your business logic implementation will be available, like adding the products, deleting the products, making the orders, canceling the orders, payment status in this. No, right? This is all about connecting all microservices as a single port number or as a single application. So no business logic. So here, somewhat, you don't know about this, we will involve. Here also no, here also no. Business logic always comes as part of the Spring Boot apps. But you are managing all these microservices as a microservices architecture with the help of these extra components as part of the microservices architecture, gateway, config server, service registry. These three are very important. This one. This is 100% required knowledge. This is also we need. This is an optional, but I will teach you. Okay, it is not being used much in real-time applications. This is also not that much required. Leave it. Okay, but this is important. So we will discuss everything from tomorrow onwards. Anything else before? So you understood at least the importance of microservices on a simple high-level point of view. Why we are going with the microservices? Why not monolithic? Not only that, guys. Tomorrow I will give you one more point. Assume this user microservice, user-related logic. Assume Flipkart is planning one more web application called as pharmacy application. One more, Flip Pharma, something like that. Now they want user registration logic. They can reuse this logic or not? They can call this users or not? Yes, it's all their projects only, right? So they can call automatically users microservice or not? How? Why? Because users functionality is implemented everything as a REST services. You can connect your REST services to any other application. Right? So that is what meaning of portable of microservices, portability. So that is how things will very reusable and everything. Yeah, Spring PDF I will upload today. Okay, so I will upload it. Thanks. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll leave it. We will leave today and we will connect tomorrow. And probably I'll start coding part tomorrow. The gateway. What is gateway? First, we will create 3 Spring Boot applications. I will create. We know that how to create very well. Okay, and then we will start actual microservices architecture. What is gateway? What it will do? And all we will try to come see from tomorrow's class. That's all for today. I will upload. These are all images. I will upload a microservices PDF also today along with Spring PDF. Microservices material is also there. I will upload that one also today itself. I will upload. Just verify the Google Drive. So what is the difference between cache and caching? Or both are same? Both are same because cache you can. So first level cache, second level cache is a terminology related to Hibernate Ranjan. But there is one more concept, generic concept called as cache. Okay, in memory cache is something like that. Redis. Okay, you have other concepts also. Terminology might be same, but concepts are different with respect to one area to another area. So in memory cache, there is one concept available. First level cache, second level cache is the terminology related to the Hibernate. But there is a terminology available in memory cache. That is a different story again. There is no relation with what Hibernate, all these things. In-memory cache. So just go through that. You will get the knowledge. Sir, can you provide some more assignments on REST services? Swami. Okay, I will try to add assignments for the REST services today. Okay. I'll try to do that. Assignments on the REST APIs. I'll make a assignments and I will upload that document also. Maybe by today or tomorrow, I'll do that for you. I'll upload that, Swami. Okay. Okay. Thanks to everyone for coming on Sunday. Let's connect on